Hey, what's up guys? It's Kyle, and in this video, I want to go over why I invested $15,000 today without really knowing anything about the companies. So first off, I have no clue about oil companies. Let's get it straight. I'm an actor that is also a real estate salesperson and investor, and I'm damn good at it, by the way. But I have no clue about oil or oil companies or investing in oil at all. So I figured I'd make this video because of that. I figured it would be good to make a video coming from absolutely no knowledge at all in oil, figuring out my thoughts on it, and disclosing any investments I decided to make. So I do know about stocks, however, I'm no expert, but I do have friends that give me insider tips from time to time, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of the times when I actually listen to them, I don't make out as good as if I just thought of it myself. For instance, in 2013, I invested in two little companies known as Netflix and Amazon. And all I did was just let the money grow, and all I saw was that my account kept going up, and I think I even quadrupled my initial investment, and I wish I would have paid attention more to it and saw the actual possibility and been able to invest more money, but I didn't. I just saw the account growing. See, I was so invested in my acting career as well as making money as a real estate agent and investor that I didn't really have time to pay attention to this as I was getting all of that ramped up. So I know about investing in companies since 2018. I've looked into that. I know the PE ratios, I know the market caps, I know the financials. However, oil is a completely different subject. However, seeing video after video come out on YouTube, as well as my high school buddy who now does day trading at a major firm messaged me the other day when I put out a story post on Instagram saying best companies to invest in during the coronavirus, and he messages me and says oil. And I just messaged him back and say, what am I even looking at? I have no clue about oil. And he said, can't go wrong, can't get much lower, bro. Now let's go into the stocks that I was told about, the ones that I looked into and what I found out about them, and any investments that I decided to make. But before we go into that, I need you to do something for me, and that is to completely destroy the like button below. Seriously guys, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's all I ask. I put a lot of time and money, you will see what I'm talking about, into making this video. So that's all I ask for. And as well as hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and the notification bell so you will get notifications every time I post a new video, which is very often these days. As well as follow me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily so you could get other aspects of my life as well and we can connect. Okay, so let's start with my friend. Now I will read you exactly what my friend's reply to this post was about the top companies to invest in during coronavirus. He said, oil, in the shitter, negative future contracts, future months still at bargain prices, supply through the roof, running out of places to store it, can't go much lower, bro. That's it. Now, disclaimer, this friend of mine was a complete party friend all throughout high school, as well as into college, and even post-college. He was really smart, though. He was one of those guys that would, like, smoke some weed and come up with the most brilliant thoughts. So I do believe that he is a smart guy, as well as he is a trader that worked for JP Morgan up until 2014, and then in 2015, he is at the trading desk still, but he trades mostly in ETFs and mutual funds. So my response to him was, okay, what am I looking at? And he told me to look at Schlumberger NV, but he also just said, take a look at all the big boys. You can't really go wrong. Next, I went to some of the guys on YouTube. The first guy I went to was Graham Stephan. Now, his video was titled something like, Get Paid to Invest in Oil. So it was a little clickbaity, but instead I decided to look anyway. He did a video that was pretty much just informative. You can go check it out. It just kind of gave the overall scope of what was going on in the oil industry. And he also disclosed that he wouldn't be making any investments in oil because he's not looking for short-term gains. He'd mostly like to keep his money in the stock market as a whole, more of a safe investment play for the long term. Then I watched a video with my boy Jeremy at Financial Education. Now, he did a video covering the oil industry. However, he said at that time he would not be making any straight plays in the oil industry or any straight picks. But he did say that he was going to investigate this much further and that he put out a video once he does try to wrap his head around this whole thing and know that there is a play here. Now, his very next video was one of the companies that I decided to invest in, the NAT ticker symbol, Nordic American Tankers. Now, I won't go into complete detail because he did a whole video on this, so I'm just going to plug his video and you can check that out, but I will give an overview of the topics he discussed. So I will mention right up front that I did buy 500 shares of this company. Now, Nordic American Tankers essentially is tankers that store oil. These ships are making hand over fist currently. They're used to making 20K per day storing oil. Right now, because of the supply and the demand issues in storing oil, they're making hand over fist and are making at least 100 to 120K per day in this current situation we're in. Now, going back to my first friend who had messaged me on Instagram, I remembered one of the things he said was running out of places to store it. So this comes back to this situation where Jeremy's going over and getting a play on this angle of it about storing the oil. Now, he admittedly said this is not a long-term play. This is more of a 3 to 4 month hold, and he intends to double or even triple his money just in 2020 alone. The good thing about this company is that, well, first of all, it runs on oil. The ships run on oil. So they're running on something that is insanely cheap right now, especially for them to get access to. They do not have much overhead other than that in regards to kitchens and workers and stuff like that. They are at a minimal overhead in that respect. So the 5-year high for this company was 16. Right now they're trading right around 5.5 a share, and their dividend is pretty healthy. It's a 4.5% dividend. So it pays to invest in this company, as well as the market cap is only 800. I believe it's 800. At the time of his video, it was something around $750 million market cap. So it's a rather small company to be able to invest in and ideally grow your initial investment. Now, my next guy, who is a day trader right now, and he made over $1 million investing in Apple. His basic claim to fame is that he inherited a good amount of money, which he put entirely on Apple. I believe it was 150 grand or so back in 2010 around. And this grew into over $1 million worth in just Apple stock. Now, he learned the day trading after he broke his ankle and ended up being on the couch for about 6 months. So he learned the ins and outs of trading. So now I asked his opinion about oil companies, and his response to me today through a text was this: CVX would be the only one I'd buy and hold. That's Chevron. But if you want a shot on a trade, buy Oxy, Occidental Chemical, ticker symbol OXY. So since my first friend mentioned that you can't go wrong with any of the big boys, and these were 2 big boys that he had mentioned to me. Now I looked at Chevron first. Chevron, they went down as low as 58 a share. They bounced back up to 88 a share currently they're trading at. So while I do understand this play, they already saw a big increase since the bottom. Now, Oxy, on the other hand, was at 88 per share back in July and is now trading currently around 13 a share. So I decided to pick up 350 shares of this worth around $5,000. So I thought I was done with my oil investments. However, that last friend that I was just talking about, the day trader, texted me 5 minutes later and said, buy PTEN right now. That was it. And he even called me because I did not see his text message. And he said, hey, did you see my text message? So when I said that I looked the company up and that they were up by 25% that day, why would I invest in this company? He said, well, do it because they are about to rip. So this company went from about $10 a share to $2.50 per share. They just had earnings today, which were not as bad as projected. And they just cut their dividend to save cash. They are only a $500 million market cap. So with all of these things considered, I think they are pretty much near the bottom here. So he felt confident that I could double or triple my money here. And he had the conviction to buy $30,000 worth of it. So between those 2 things, I felt that it was a pretty safe bet. So with cutting the dividend to save expenses, with not having as bad of a projected earnings as originally forecasted, as well as having a 5-year high of close to $30 per share and currently trading right around the $3 per share mark, I thought this was a pretty good investment to make of 3,000 shares worth about $8,600 or so. Now, I will probably sell any of these companies if they do even get close to doubling. However, they are pretty much at what it seems to me like the bottom. So thank you guys very much for staying tuned. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I will reply to you. I'm very interested to hear about this. And as well as smash the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. I would appreciate that very greatly. And follow me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily. Subscribe if you have not done so and hit the notification bell. I post pretty much daily now. So guys, thank you so much and have a great day no matter what you decide to invest in.